Hello everyone. This is a follow-up video, or I should say a response video. John Heaton here on YouTube. Check out his channel. He has a great channel. And me and Mr. Mayo, check out his channel too if you hadn't. He's got a really great channel. Um, John Heaton had kind of started it on what would a Beatles album be like had they not broke up in 1970. If there was an album that they recorded in 1970, what would the album consist of based on their solo recordings? Uh, John Heaton had a really great list, and me and Mr. Mayo, hi Joe, he had a really great song listing too. So I thought I'd throw my 2 cents in, and I picked some tracks that I would put on the tracks that I believe would be put on a would-be Beatles album in 1970 had they stayed together. But this is just my opinion here. It's all fun. Um, but to open the album, I picked Instant Karma. I think it's a good song as an opening track. Nice little count in before John starts to sing. So I went with that one. And then we went to John's Remember, which is a great song. It's a little, it's a little step down from Instant Carbon, not quite as fast, but still has a little bit of pace to it. And then we dropped down a little bit, and I included Paul's Every Night. And then I gave George 2 tracks on here and Ringo 1 track on this album. Um, I included George's Apple Scruffs. I think Apple Scruffs is a great song. I think it could have been a Beatles song. It's kind of Dylan-esque, the way it's written. Um, Apple Scruffs, I believe, was the female fans used to hang around Apple back in the late 60s, I guess, or something like that. So I included it because I thought it was appropriate here. And then we go to Paul's Man We Was Lonely, which is a great song. And then rounded off side one with John's Somber Mother, which I think would be appropriate. Um, just like when he did Julia on the White Album. I think Mother is an appropriate track here. Side two opens with Paul's Ooh You, which is a nice little rocker. Got a lot of great guitar work in it. You can just imagine George playing the lead guitar on that song. And then, being as rocker as it is, then I included John's Well, Well, Well. I think it's a nice little follow-up to Ooh You. And then we get a little bit, not like a step down, but maybe just a little change in songwriting here. A lot of people might disagree with me with this track from Ringo, but because Ringo wrote it, I'm going to include it in here. I included Coochie Coochie from the B-side of Boo of Blues, which Coochie Coochie was also in reality a bonus track on Ringo's CD, Boo of Blues. But I included Coochie Coochie because, like I said, Ringo wrote it. I understand it don't come easy. Like Mr. Mayo said, it was written in 1970, but I included Coochie Coochie because I think it's a fun song, and I think that's something Ringo would have put on a Beatles album. So, and after that, I included Maybe I'm Amazed, which is a great McCartney song, and I like to add that if Paul would have had some kind of producer, or should I go back and say, if Paul had better production on Maybe I'm Amazed, if he would, really produced the song, I think it would have been a great single for him from 1970. But, just throwing that in there. Okay, next Harrison song I included, which is I don't want to include real popular songs because sometimes, George, he had really, really great songs, and I didn't want to pull like My Sweet Lord off of the album or Was Live because it's kind of like given songs. Those are kind of like obvious songs. Um, I decided to include Behind That Locked Door, which is a pretty song. It's kind of country-esque in a way, and it's well produced, and it's really a great song. It's real mellow and just a real moody song, and I like it, and I just think it's a really great deep track, so I included it on here. Okay, last two songs, uh, I included Paul's song "Junk." I know it was rejected by the Beatles, in reality, but I included it here. I think Mr. No, me, Mr. Bale. I don't think he included that one. No, I don't think he did. I think John Heaton might have. I believe. Um, and the final track I included to round off the album, "Love" by John Lennon. A pretty song, and I think that it's a nice trail off to end the album. So that's my list of a Lost Beatles album. Had they recorded it in 1970. Um, so that's what I come up with. Please leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. And thanks for watching.